How are the chords formed? Once you know the major scale, you can easily find out the chords using the chord formulas. For example, when we know the A major scale, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp and A. Major chord can be formed using the first, third and fifth note from the major scale. When two or more notes are played together, they are called as chords. Major chord can be formed using the first, third and fifth note from the major scale. So the first note, third note and fifth note from the A major scale we get as A, C sharp and E when played together makes a A major chord. For D major chord, first, third and fifth note from the D major scale. So D, F sharp and A make the D major chord. Let's take another example for F sharp major chord, first, third and fifth note. So from the F sharp major scale, we will find out that the first, third and fifth note are F sharp, A sharp and C sharp, and that makes the F sharp major chord. Similarly, find out the major chords for the rest of the keys. Now for minor, suspended 2, suspended 4, augmented, diminished and 7th chord. You'll see that you only need to know the chord formulas of these particular chords, and based on the major scale, you will be able to find out the chords. Let's look at the chord formulas for the given chords. So for the minor chord, it goes as first, flat third and fifth. For diminished chord, it's first, flat third, flat fifth. For augmented chord, it's first, third and sharp fifth. For suspended 2 chord, first, second and fifth. For suspended 4, it's first, fourth and fifth. And for the 7th chord, it's first, third, fifth and flat 7th. There are two symbols that you might come across, the flat and the sharp. Flat looks quite similar to the smaller case of B, but if you observe closely, it's not exactly a B. It's a little bit different from the smaller case of B. And for the sharp notes, it might seem very similar to the hashtag, but that's not exactly a hashtag. Look closely and you'll get the difference. For your information, only while writing the formulae, flat will come before the note number and sharp will come after the note number. Let's do it for the E major key. So the E major scale is E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. So the major chord would be using the first, third and fifth note from the major scale. So the notes would be E, G sharp and B. This would constitute your major chord. A minor chord would be using the first, flat third and fifth note. So the notes would be E, G and B. Because we are flattening the third by half step, G sharp becomes G. Half step is one note, and that's why G sharp becomes G. Now for diminished chord, it's 1, flat third and flat fifth. So the notes would be E, G and A sharp or B flat. Because the fifth note usually would have been B from the major scale, but because it's flat fifth, you can flatten the B note by half step and you can call it A sharp or B flat. It's the same note. Now for augmented chord, the chord formula is first, third and sharp fifth. So the notes would be E, G sharp, and instead of B it becomes, because it's sharp fifth, we'd go half step up, and from B it goes to C. So the notes are E, G sharp and C. For suspended 2 chord, it's 1, 2 and 5th note from the major scale. So the notes would be E, F sharp and B. When played together will form suspended 2 chord. Similarly for suspended 4th, it's 1st, 4th and 5th. So the notes from the major scale E, A and B, and that constitutes of a suspended 4 chord. For the 7th chord, it's 1st, 3rd, 5th and flat 7th. So the notes are E, G sharp, B, and instead of D sharp, because it's flat 7th, it goes to half step down, that is D. The notes would be, I repeat, E, G sharp, B and D. This way you can find the chords for all the keys. Please find the attached link for practice chart in the description below.